Ooh, some loot. Nice. This guy didn't have much though, he must have been killed pretty quickly. I hear someone. Yep. Someone's come in. I feel bad, but like... This guy probably thinks I'm the dirtiest rat ever, but like what else am I supposed to do? I hear you coming at me, bro. I gotta kill you. Sorry. You would have done the same to me. That's Tharis Island for you. Hi guys, and welcome to the video. Today we're going to talk about Tharis Island and how to extract with some quick and easy loot, which can go a long way to helping you level up factions to access better weapons and gear. So let's dive right in. Now, I'm not going to say this is an easy guide, which will let you go in and out constantly scoring hundreds of thousands of K-marks each time. This is a high danger map, and a lot of players are looking for this loot and will fight you for it. The close quarters nature of this map makes fighting extremely stressful, and with things like shatterguns and bulldogs flying around, it's easy to see your loot taken from you. Right now, I've probably got a bunch of clips running that are showing me getting absolutely smoked, but in this video, I will hopefully give you some inside tips and show you some spots that can help you get the biggest bang for your buck on the third Cycle Frontier map. Also, I'll show you the best thing that could possibly have happened to me on this map, and how I was able to get away with my biggest run of the day. First off, I just want to say thanks to all the subs over the weekend. I think we've had something like 100 people subscribe since I streamed on Thursday, so I really appreciate all the support. We're now close to the 800 subs, which may not seem like a lot, but to me it's absolutely mad. So if you're new here, do subscribe for lots of Cycle Frontier content for this season. Anyways, back to the important stuff. Now I'm going to run through 3 locations that I hit to maximize the ease of getting in and out fast with maximum loot. And that is the key to these loot runs on Tharis Island. I stick to the outsides of the map as much as possible, running basic white tactical armor. The tactical armor is slightly more expensive, but the stamina boost you can get can really save you in a pinch. Then I run whatever budget gun I feel like, kind of Scrapper, PDW, Bulldog are really my main go-tos. The Manticore is also great, but will lose you fights up close against shotguns, and for 7k it can feel like a burden if you're struggling to survive. You could also run with a knife, but personally I like having the ability to defend myself. Sometimes you have to fight, and I'd rather at least try to win to get out with the loot than give up and die. So what is the loot we're trying to extract with? Tharis Island is full of ore from nickel to Veltacite and the Titan ores, but also there is an ore native to Tharis Island called Tharis Iron, which is used in the forge in the depths of Tharis Island, but is also a great loot item. Now, not necessarily for its K-mark value, but for the faction XP it can get you. For example, a good run on this material can net you 200 to 300 faction XP, along with 50 to 60,000 K-marks, enough to pay for 10 to 20 loadouts that you can run on this map. The rucks that you're looking for in particular are just a dull grey. They don't glow a particular colour like the other ores until you crack into them, and you'll see this kind of blue-purple colour. The rocks also have these like wavy lines on them, which is a good giveaway as to what they are. So the first location I want to show off is close to the sparkling waters part of the map. As you follow the stream up from the landing pad, you'll see a nice jump up spot which will lead through a crawl space and into a little cave where you should find at least a few nodes of Tharis Iron. If you don't take the jump up, you'll probably end up going into the sparkling waters area, and I was unable to find a way into these caves from there. This is the least contested mining area I found, and so if you spawn near here, I would highly recommend checking it out for a quick run. Next up, we probably have the most contested mining spot that I've found without going into the depths of the storm pillar, and that is by the Coraline Quarry. Once you cross from the outskirts of the map into the Coraline Quarry on the west side, there is a small cave area which is only accessible either through the main quarry part or from a little jump down by the bridges. This means that if someone beats you there, they can easily hear you coming and try to hold the angles. There is a lot of AI around here, so it's hard for enemies to kind of sneak up on you once you're in there, so keep a good ear out and you should hear before anyone kind of gets up on you. On a good run, there could easily be over 5 nodes of Tharis Iron here, along with an equal amount of Titan nodes. I've also found a higher density of Titan ore as opposed to just the brittle Titan ore spawns on Tharis Island, which is a really good crafting material, and it's also not a bad item to sell. Finally, we have the canyon that runs to the west of the Osiris Labs. Now again, this area can be highly contested. It is also, in my experience, incredibly hard to work out where people are. I often found I could hear someone on the other side of a wall, but couldn't figure out exactly where they were or how they could get to me. The risk here is also that you could easily fall into the void if you're not careful and if you're trying to run away from a Jeff or Striders or whatever. And remember that your gear will not be returned to you in insurance if you do fall here. As you can see now, I actually had the best run here because I decided to wait during a storm to hopefully get some mining done in peace. And I got that one thing that all loot goblins want, a server closure notification. Now, if you have never had one of these before, it means the server is at the end of its 6-hour life cycle, and that means no new players are going to spawn on the map. Also, in my experience, these notifications come on during a storm, and so you can usually be confident that a lot of players have just extracted and you will be on a particularly quiet server. Now, never assume you're alone, but if you get on a closing server, go to town on the loot. I've had it before on Crescent Falls, and I was just running all over the map, gathering up everything I could in those 20 minutes, and I didn't hear a single person, and it was great. Now, I wanted to loot a lot more on this run, but I was low on meds, and I didn't really want to get lost in the depths of the Storm Pillar, so I decided to extract with a nice 60,000 K-Mark haul, as well as about 300 in faction XP, I think. And I was effectively running a free loadout, as both the Bulldog and Manticore I had were taken off other players. So all in all, it was a nice win, and this was actually my final run before I decided to put this video together, so it was a nice come up after considering I think my first 3 runs of today were deaths that you probably have already seen. So, you know, it swings and roundabouts. I think with these, don't take anything to heart with these loot runs. You're probably going to die a lot, unless you're running things like a shatter gun. But yeah, that's why I recommend running the cheap loadouts. You die, you go in. All you need is, you know, if you're coming out 1 every 3-4 runs, you're still making profit and you're still leveling up those factions. I would still say the best way to really level up factions is to do the quest, but if you want to mix it up a bit, do some loot runs. These are good fun. You might even get some kills on dudes with blue armor, get their loot as well. You may even get lucky and catch someone coming out of the forge, but obviously I would never, ever recommend ratting in this game. That's just something I never do, ever. Obviously I didn't make a video about it or anything like that. Anyways, that's all for today. I've gone on a tangent, but I'll probably leave this in anyway. I hope you enjoy this brief guide, and let me know in the comments below about how your expeditions on Tharis have been going. What are your pain points? Have you enjoyed it? What do you feel about the new map? Maybe you haven't even made it there yet. And I will see you guys next time. Cheers.